Hope is here. The way to break free with your host, Angela Pedigo, will light a flame within you. Host Angela Pedigo is an author, speaker, and certified life recovery, grief, and joy restoration coach. Angela uses her own life experiences to help you navigate and guide you to success. She also has developed tools that incorporate her faith and her drive to overcome any obstacle in life. So please welcome the host of The Way to Break Free, Angela Pedigo.
Welcome, everybody, to The Way to Break Free. I am your host, Angie Pedigo, and I'm so excited for my guest today, Miss Tara Cates. Tara, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Hello.
Tara's got a great testimony of where she's been, where she's at, and where she's going, and we are going to dive into that today. Yes. Tara, let's just hit the ground running.
Okay.
Tell us a little bit about you, about your background.
So my background is I have 3 teenage daughters. I have 2 daughters that are my bonus daughters that I help raise with my ex. I'm a new grandma.
Oh, congratulations.
Yes. So, the background is I'm just a mother, who made wrong decisions a couple of times, but I'm back on track.
I love that. So let's go back to when things kind of started beginning for you.
To turn wrong.
Yeah.
So when I was about 14, 15 years old, drinking flavored Saint Ives. We could buy our own beer and cigarettes back in the day. I'm 42. So it started back then, but it was just an occasional thing, just hanging with, our teenage years or whatever. But what turned bad was 2020, right after that COVID hit, and I lost 7 people in 1 year.
Wow.
January started, I lost my brother. Few months later, I lost my kid's father. I was on unemployment, so we was getting $700 a week. I was buying a gallon of Crown every day.
Wow.
Just to numb the pain. I had stopped taking my mental meds, and so I self-medicated with alcohol, and it just spiraled out of control.
That grief it's a beast to fight.
Yes.
Isn't it? Yeah.
If I don't have my mental meds, I can't deal with my emotions.
That's a problem for a lot of people, and it's something that's not talked about a lot.
Right.
Yeah.
A lot of people, when I was incarcerated, a lot of people, they self-medicate. Mm-hmm. And then so even I would question, why would you choose drugs over raising your kids? Because I know I can't be without my kids a day. Mm-hmm. It killed me being in jail. But I get it. Mm-hmm. They couldn't, when you're taking mental meds, they try you on so many different kinds of meds to find the right path. Mm-hmm. So you're telling me we got to wait a month to see if this one works, if you're still feeling awkward, so we try it again. And they can't pinpoint it fast enough that we say, forget it, we're just going to do it with drugs or alcohol.
That is a good point. A good point. So you mentioned something about you after your daughter's father passed mm-hmm. away, that you stopped taking those meds.
Yeah, well, I stopped taking them because when you take your mental meds and you're drinking, it makes you sick.
Okay. I was going to ask you what led up to the reason to stop.
Yeah, it makes you sick.
Yeah. So choosing alcohol was a way of coping.
Yeah.
No different than somebody else who might choose to binge eat or we all will choose things as a method of coping.
There's plenty different types of addictions. Mm-hmm. Just like in Celebrate Recovery or AA meetings, NA meetings, there's everything. Mm-hmm. Some people get addicted to eating the walls.
Yeah.
It's something.
Yes.
So if we could get the addiction under control, no matter what it is, then you can get yourself under control.
Mm-hmm. We have to get to the pain underneath the addiction.
Correct.
The addiction's a way to cope.
Correct.
The pain underneath there.
Correct.
And so for you, that started with
some grief. So I will say, I was incarcerated twice. The first time I got incarcerated, Of course, I was drinking. I went to my friend's house. He had got jumped by 2 guys. I seen his ear hanging off his head, windows busted out everywhere. And so I went to confront the people who did it. Well, it was 2 brothers who jumped him. Well, the sisters jumped me. So when the 2 sisters jumped me, I couldn't get off the ground. I ended up stabbing one of them. So it got me an attempted murder charge. There's no self-defense law in the state of Tennessee.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then they asked me, was I afraid? If you ask me that today, yes, I'll tell you I was afraid. But right then, it was adrenaline rush. I just needed to get them off of me.
Yeah.
And then so the first time I was incarcerated, I followed God. I was reading my Bible. I'm no stranger to God. I'm no stranger to Jesus. My friend Angie back in the day and Sonia, Tawan, they both introduced me to God. They introduced me to what it is. But as a Christian walk, you're going to fall. And the demons are going to come at you stronger.
Oh, that's truth.
So when the demons come at you stronger, it's your place to stay strong on that platform. And I let the grief get the best of me and just self-medicated with Crown Royal.
Yes. So that was always your drug of choice
there. Always my drug of choice.
So tell me, we were talking before the show. Tell me a little bit about that experience. How did you come to meet Jesus?
So I was this is the second time I was in jail. The second time I got incarcerated, I was drinking September 17th. Everybody who left me that night, we was out there drinking. We was talking about my brother who got killed. When I get to drinking, I get emotional. I want to go to where he got killed at and sit there and talk to him. It's where he took his last breath, so I feel closer to him. He was cremated, so we don't have a grave.
Gotcha.
So I was on my way there, got pulled over. Funny, I told the police, I'm running to Mexico, leave me alone. But so I get incarcerated. The first 3 months, the devil was on me bad. I just cried. I called home every day, of course, speak to my girls. I knew I was missing. I was missing out on their teenage years. I missed my oldest daughter's graduation. That hit home. Yeah. My first baby missed her graduation because I wanted to drink. So Aletha, she started coming into the jail, ministering in the jail. I don't know why she picked me out of 70 females, was like, Tara, I need you over here. No, you don't.
Resistant.
No, you don't. I'm fine. So I got my radio on and I'm walking around. Well, then she just kept persisting me. And I'm like, why is you messing with me? Like, there's 70 other people in here. Talk to them. But she wouldn't. She was like, no. And I'm like, the devil's on me. I don't want to. And then she's like, no, that's when you need to come and talk to me. And I was like, okay. Well, then a couple more times she'll come in. Tara, where are you at? I'm in the shower. I'm coming. So then finally I just started to engage. And then it just came like a ton of bricks on me. I had 3 different Bibles. I had my Celebrate Recovery Bible. I had my NA Bible, and I don't do drugs, but they're all basically the same. And then I had my regular Bible. And then she started putting me in charge of things. Make sure everybody in the pod has Bibles. Make sure you talk to the people when they come in. See what's wrong with them. What's the root? What's the cause that they keep coming back to jail? And
how'd that make you feel to be put in charge of something like that?
It made me feel wonderful because you got to think I don't have my kids, so I'm not in charge of nothing no more right now. So when you're in jail, you lose the control part. So like the only thing that I could control is my OCD. So like my area was spot clean. Yeah. So I mean that's the only thing I control. But being part of handing out the Bibles, I started doing Bible studies because they didn't want to go with Aletha. Aletha, she knows I love her to death, but Aletha comes in as a rich type of person. She ain't been through the struggles that we've been through. We're in jail. So it's like they can't connect with her. I come from a great background. I just let grief take over. But I'm in there with them. So they see me as one. So they listen to me. Because they listen to me, they learn more about Jesus.
Peer-to-peer support.
Yes.
That is beautiful. Yes. So how long were you in jail at that time?
The last time I served 10 months.
10 months.
And I wasn't This is the thing. So, like, when you're in jail, you don't know your out date. You're just praying, God let you out. God let me out. I didn't pray for that. This is
Mm.
how I knew I changed. God, am I done serving what you told me to do?
Ooh.
And so when I told my best friend Jennifer that, she was like, and I talked to her the night before, and I was like, if I'm done serving God in here and done with teaching, then he'll let me free. And she said, I knew then you was getting out.
Ooh.
Yeah. So I wasn't praying to go home anymore. I was just praying that God's will was done.
That is beautiful.
And obviously it worked. I got out, which is the good thing.
But you weren't praying for it
No.
necessarily to get out.
Right.
Like it was a genuine
It
sincerity.
was a genuine sincere, but it worked because I have so many of the girls. They follow me on Facebook. Ma, are you doing okay? They all call me Ma. You got to think, like, some of the girls that was incarcerated, their mothers left them, or their mothers was on drugs, and that's why they got on drugs, or they prostituted them, or
Yes.
they're tired of dealing with their shenanigans, so they just let them be. So a lot of the girls called me mom. I was the mama bear of the pod.
Yes.
So they still follow me today, and they're the reason why I'm 23 months sober.
That is awesome.
Yes.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You'll have the big 2-year chip coming up.
Oh, yes, September 17th.
That's awesome. That is
Yes.
awesome. So what was it like when you left jail that time?
When
What
I
was
left,
life like?
Scared.
Mm.
Scared. How am I going to please God?
Mm.
Because the only thing that I could get released from is if I get out, I still got to do God's word on the outside. I got to continue what I was doing.
Was that going to be hard going into like the environment you'd be going back into? Did you have
No.
to change a lot?
Well, when I was incarcerated, God makes you change your people, places, and things.
Yes, he does.
So when I was incarcerated the first time, because of my situation that happened, 4 of the girls left me.
Mm.
They said, I can't be around you. They was my biggest supporters when it comes to alcohol.
Mm.
God moved them out my way.
So you didn't have to move
I
them
did.
out.
Yeah.
Made the hard things easy.
Easy.
Look at that.
When I came home, I didn't have to be around alcohol. I wasn't around the same friends no more.
That is big.
Yeah.
That has a big impact on
I have 5 support team that's been with me for years. They ain't none of them big alcoholic drinkers really, but the one group that I was always drinking with every weekend left me. So when they left me, they went to alcohol too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
At first I was mad. I didn't understand, but then God moved them. So he did it, not me.
Mm-hmm.
So it's okay.
I notice sometimes too when God moves things out of our life that need to be moved,
Yeah.
he brings something we didn't even
Better.
realize that we needed.
Correct.
Better. Did you experience that?
Yes, just everything. My location, for one, the girl who I got into the altercation with, she called the housing and told them what had happened, my charge.
Mhm.
I got the worst charge in jail. My first time going to jail, I got the worst charge and the highest bond. But so she called them, I got put out, but I had money saved up. I had just got my taxes, had money saved up, and my mom went and got us a 3-bedroom house.
Nice.
So I went from a condo to a house while I'm in jail.
Nice.
So, I mean, I lost things, but I gained more.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's all right.
It makes me think about that verse in the Bible where he'll give you back the years the locusts have eaten.
Everything. Everything.
What all you feel like he's given you back at this point?
Me.
Oh.
Me.
Elaborate on that.
I got me back. I got the me back that when my girls were younger, I got that spunk. As you can see, I'm a character. I got that spunk back. I got that happiness back. I got the love back from my kids.
Mm.
They no longer look at me as like, my mom's the crazy drunk one. I'm the sane one that just talks about God all the time and talks about church and no, you better be in the house on time because God's gonna get you type of thing. No. And then come on, y'all, it's time to go to church. And then my pastor and pastor's wife was like, let them come at their own time. And my daughter Anaya joined the church again a couple weeks ago.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. So you were telling me too when you finally gave your life to Jesus, when you had that moment and you got baptized after that, not too long after that, your girls got baptized too,
Yes,
right?
so that was at my church, St. Eli, 850 Bradford Avenue. But yeah, so that was at the church back in, I want to say, 2015. But then that's when, after that is when I fell off the walk. But when I got re-baptized, I had to get re-dipped because I didn't get dipped good enough the first time. So I needed to get re-dipped again. I got re-dipped on Cinco de Mayo.
Oh, wow.
The biggest alcohol holiday. And I'm an alcoholic.
That is beautiful. I love God's, the humor in it is so funny.
Yes.
We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them. We discover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
We're back from the break. Tara, I'm just loving this journey.
Yes.
You're on. So you're out of jail. You are like moved into a new place.
Yep.
What was it like going forward from there?
So when I came home from jail, I started my own ministry on live. On
Breaking
Facebook.
Chains, right?
Breaking Chains.
Yes.
And the reason why I chose Breaking Chains was because of being incarcerated. We had to wear chains no matter where we went. So it was like when I finally got out of there, I broke it. And I broke the past. When I left that jail, I left the old Tara there.
That's awesome.
So I broke free. So Breaking Change, I started that on Facebook. Everything is internet now.
Yes.
So it's no more let's meet up somewhere and talk. It's I'll see you on Facebook. I'll see you on whatever. So I started the ministry on Facebook because a lot of the girls that I was incarcerated with, they're ashamed of who they are. But I try to tell them all the time, don't be ashamed. It's your story. It's your testimony.
Yes.
Be you.
Yes.
So,
yeah. It's when you can take, which you can probably attest to this, but when you can take where you've been and turn it into purpose, it loses the shame.
Correct.
Loses the hold.
I'm not ashamed of anything I done went through in my life because it made me who I am today. Yeah. Just anything, dealing with my kids' fathers, my past relationships, being abused, any of it. I'm not ashamed of it.
Yeah.
If my testimony can help the next person, that's all I care about.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're putting it to use.
Putting it to use.
Yeah.
And not ashamed.
Yeah.
Some of the girls that I was incarcerated with, one of them sticks out. She done had a baby. She's got married. her and her boyfriend is, I want to say 3 years sober. Caitlin
Nice.
Law. Wonderful baby. That's one of my babies. She called me mama. But I'm so proud of her. And it's so many of them. It ain't just her, but it's just her story is just the magnetic family story. She had another baby. She got married. She's doing the real life stuff. Like, it's just amazing.
That is awesome.
Yes.
And so did you kind of help mentor her along
In jail, yes. That child there. She's young and she did not want to listen to nothing. And I'm like, little girl, if you don't sit down and listen to me, like, stop doing this. Like, you got to stop coming back to jail. And like, I'm telling these girls, stop coming to jail, but I'm in jail with them.
Yeah.
But I was just the mother of them. And it was just the same.
So tell me about your girls.
My girls in jail have changed me. They made me who I am today. I've always been the one to open my heart, open my arms to anyone. But the girls in jail is who made me want to stay sober. I stay sober because of them, because they're like, if mama can do it, I can do it too. And even though they was on drugs and not so much of the alcohol, it's still the same. It was still addiction. It was still bad. Like, I did the worst things when I was just drinking. They were doing drugs. But I stabbed someone. So I had the worst time of the life when I went to jail, but I had to turn it around and you let God use me. He put me there for a reason. And so I let him use me. And once I finally said, okay, I'm done, God, just do it. Once I finally just gave up, God, you can run my life now. I'm done trying. Then it was over with. And everything started to become blissful, just happiness.
And so what was it like surrendering to God? Was that hard for you to let go?
I was arguing.
Tell me about that.
How do you argue with God? But it happens.
We do it.
I did. So, they wake you up for breakfast, which is chow at 4:00 in the morning. So get up, do breakfast. This was Easter Sunday. I had already planned out. I was doing Easter Sunday in the pod. It's girls that never heard the story of how he died and then risen in 3 days. They don't know that story.
Yes.
So that's what I wanted to talk about. And then, so after chow, I go try to lay back down. I'm like, okay, I got to calm down, get this wind. God said, you're not going to talk about that. So I'm sitting there arguing with him. Never heard his voice a day in my life. Never. God was like, no, you're not going to talk about that. I was like, yes, I am. I done wrote it down. I know what I'm going to say. No, you're not. Yes, I am. I could not go to sleep because I'm sitting there arguing with God about what I want to say out my mouth. And he's like, no, you surrendered. You said I can use you. You're not going to talk about that.
Oh.
So I was like, okay. So I got my pen and piece of paper out from under my mat, wrote it down because I was on the bottom bunk. So I laid it down and then wrote down what he said. So what it was is when Jesus died, 3 days he rose in. So when he died, our past died. When we rose up, the new us rose up. So when you left that jail, you leave that past there and you come out and you be stronger than you ever was.
Oh, that's powerful.
Yes. So that's what I preached about. Everybody in the pod was crying.
Oh.
But like, I even had girls, like a real church setting. I had a couple of girls that could sing. They were singing church songs. Like, we had a whole thing, like live church in there.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean, you got to do something. You're in there with 70 other females. Like, I remember Halloween. We had studs in our pod that looked like guys. We dressed them up as females and we had a Halloween party. And one of the studs was like, we did it because of y'all real mothers who missing your kids. We have to do something. Yeah. So like, we celebrated holidays with them, Christmas with them, Thanksgiving. Yeah. I was in there for every holiday that year. Yeah. Every holiday. I missed every one.
That's hard.
Very.
Especially when you're a mom.
Very.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was that like for you? How did you deal with that? Because I'd work with a lot of girls in the jail that are struggling right now too. With wanting to see their babies.
I was embarrassed. I was embarrassed because I wasn't there with my girls, my babies.
Mm,
Christmas wasn't the same.
mm.
They tried to make it the same, but it wasn't.
Did you get to see them any?
Yeah, we FaceTimed.
Yeah.
My mother was in the hospital the
Mm,
same day. So she couldn't be there and,
Yeah.
make it better. But
Yeah.
they made it work.
They made it work. They just wanted their mama
They
back.
just wanted their mama. It's always been me and them. Their daddies have always been in and out of incarceration.
Yeah.
And then they finally had a leg to stand on because mama fell weak for once. And they argued me up and down. Well, you've always been hard on us because we're back and forth in jail. Now look at you. So it was hard.
Are they a good support system and accountability for you?
Yes. When I got out of jail, I started doing AA on the outside. My girls, Naya actually came to the first one with me. Allie, my strong baby, she's always at work. That child works her butt off. And Monkey, she's my goofy side. That's her all the way. So she's like, Mom, I can't sit still and during an AA meeting. She would sit there and laugh and just tell crazy stories. So yeah, she ain't never went with me. But Naya, she went with me and she held up my first chip, her and Jennifer. And it was my first chip for AA meetings on the outside. Because they offer AA meetings in Sumner County Jail.
That's awesome.
Now they do.
So what is life like for you today? Like how do you keep yourself motivated on this
Church,
journey?
God. Every morning. Angie started this when I was working with her at my past job. We get there at 7:00. You listen to gospel till 10 a.m. At 10 a.m., 10:30, you can switch it over to R&B. But now I don't even switch it over. I just praise him all day long and just listen to my gospel music. My kids, we went to Family and Friends Day at St. Eli. Family and Friends Day, and after we was all in the kitchen eating, well, then we come in the sanctuary. My kids are up there singing gospel songs. Wow. They wanted to continue their praise. Like my kids know all the songs. That's all I listen to. That's beautiful. So today, it's happiness and joy.
Yeah. How do you navigate tough times? You've had some tough times, and just recently, even.
Yeah. I lost my aunt and one of my brothers in the same week. There it goes again.
Yes.
Grief. I can't deal with it. I can't deal with my emotions. And losing my aunt, she looks just like my granny. So it's like losing my granny again. And then dealing with losing one of my brothers when I caught my first charge. I was on the phone with him and I'm like, dude, I'm got an attempted murder charge. How am I getting out of this? And he was like, it's going to be okay, sis. You got this. Just calm down. Like I lost one of my great ones and I still didn't drink. I got to thank God. I'm 23 months sober. I can't let grief take over it. So I just cry a lot. Sorry.
You're
They called me the crybaby in jail because every time I turned around, my kids were sending me pictures, and I'm like, oh, look how beautiful they are. Yeah.
Oh, we are going to take a quick break right there, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Did you know that your beliefs create your entire reality? But it's the subconscious beliefs that do most of the creating. Belief shifter and life coach Shiraz can help you identify those limiting beliefs and eliminate them, often in a single session.
It was almost instant. I had relief right away.
Creating better health, relationships, careers, and finances. Let Shiraz help you step out of safety and into awareness.
Definitely something's happening. It's like a flow inside. It feels good.
Whether in person or online, Shiraz provides personal coaching, belief shifting. Visit Shiraz at energeticmagic.com or call 416-529-7429. Energetic Magic on the BBM Global Network, Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. Find your greater happiness. Be well. Be aware. Be magical.
Are you struggling to care for elderly parents or a spouse? Do you wonder if being a caregiver is making you sick? Are you worried about taking time off work to care for elderly parents and balance work, life, and caregiving? Has caregiving become exhausting and emotionally draining? Are you an aging adult who wants to remain independent, but you're not sure how? I'm Pamela D. Wilson. Join me for the Caring Generation radio show for caregivers and aging adults, Wednesday evenings, 6 Pacific, 7 Mountain, 8 Central, and 9 Eastern, where I answer these questions and share tips for managing stress, family relationships, health, well-being, and more. Podcasts and transcripts of the Caring Generation are on my website, PamelaDWilson.com, plus my caregiving library, online caregiver support programs, and programs for corporations interested in supporting working caregivers. Help, hope, and support for caregivers is here on the Caring Generation and PamelaDWilson.com.
Tara, I've just got to draw attention to one thing, which I'm sure you probably think about it a lot, but I would love to hear you navigate this a little bit, because I do work for people that are going through the grieving process a lot.
Yes.
And everybody grieves
Differently.
and everybody's time frame to heal is different. Yes. So grief is what drove you to your addiction, right?
Correct.
And here you just recently have experienced more loss that was very dear to your heart.
Yeah.
But it didn't drive you to addiction at that point.
Nope.
What can you attribute as the difference this time?
So 4 years ago, when I went through my brother and my kid's father, I had God in me, but I didn't have God in me. So God was above me, but he wasn't in me because I wouldn't let him.
So there was the missing piece was the relationship with him.
Piece. Yes. You got to understand, you can ask for God to come in and save you, but you got to open up for God to save you. I didn't open up. So when I lost them to, the first thing, of course, was liquor. These recently past loss, when I was in jail the last time, when I gave everything to God, I had to realize that my brother's in a better place. My kid's father's in a better place. They served their time here. But through God, I will see them again. So why am I putting myself through hell?
Oh, that's a good question.
I'm putting myself through hell because they're gone. But as much as I'm going through, I can't bring them back. I'm not God. I can't bring them back. But through God, I will see them again. So now I deal with grief differently. I'm still going to cry. It still hurts.
Yeah.
It still hurts. But I don't run to my old addiction to change it. And that's what I keep trying to tell the girls from jail. Like, if you put God in the midst, he'll take that addiction away from you. But you got to put God there. As long as you have God within anything that you do, your relationships, your friendships, as long as God is in the midst, it's going to be profitable. It's going to be worth it.
He goes where he gets invited, right?
Correct. And then, so I love Tasha Cobbs. So I listen to her music all the time. So like the church I grew up in, I listen to that a lot because that's where I had to go back to the church that I grew up in. That would be the only way to get my kids back in church. But if you listen to one of Tasha Cobb's live of the church I grew up in, like before she redid it, it says, "You're welcome here. You're welcome here. You're welcome here. You're welcome here."
Yes.
God's welcome here.
Yes.
He's welcome in my life because in my life, he's made me somebody that is great. I see my purpose now.
Yeah.
I thought my purpose was just to be a mother, just to be the mother figure to my bonus kids, or my jail kids. But no, my purpose is to spread the gospel because they'll understand. I was there with y'all. I was in jail too. Them CEOs were telling me to put on my stripes because I wanted to walk around in t-shirts. Burgett does not play, baby. and she bigger than me, she gonna tackle me. But woo, I wanted to walk around in white t-shirts. It's not like I was naked. No, Tara, put on your stripes. But God is within me now, so I know my purpose, and it's to spread the gospel.
That is beautiful. That's
Yes.
beautiful. So, what all do you have going on today?
Okay, so like I keep saying, St. Eli, my home church, it's in Nashville behind Zany's. But so like this, it's Sisters in Spirit. So this is the pastor's wife. This is our women's ministry. We just did a paint and praise. So that was one of our events that we're doing. Another one that I'll involve the sis too. But I want to do prayer boards.
Oh, tell me what that's like.
So I want to do the prayer boards for my 2-year sobriety. I really didn't do a birthday party because my birthdays were always drunk. So I celebrated my birthday. I went out to eat. Now that was enough for me. But my 2-year sobriety, I want to do prayer boards. So you get a board and then you write down, you put different little envelopes and scriptures and write down, what are you praying for? What are your goals? What do you want to accomplish? I want to be a pastor. I want to preach. I want to be able to stand there in jail with these girls and tell them that I was just like you, but I overcame it. I want to do that.
You have a testimony.
I do.
So
baby.
is a prayer board just like things for you, almost like a vision board, or is it things
it's a
that
vision
other
board.
people
No,
post
it's a vision board for you, and then
Okay.
you can take it home and put it up. So I want to talk to my first lady at church and see, I've already thrown the idea at her, but like that's just one of the ministries. But I'm over the prison ministry in our jail, and it's not just because I've been in prison, but it's because of my testimony. And I'm starting to do celebrate recovery classes for myself first.
Yes.
And then I will get certified to have our own celebrate recovery classes at our church.
Nice. Nice. So you're going into the jails now?
No, I want to.
Gotcha.
But, when I was incarcerated, I was preaching in there by myself.
Yes.
When Aletha wasn't there, my strength, Miss Aletha.
She was preparing you for those Bible studies, and she was telling you to hand those Bibles out.
And I remember when she came in, she was like, and we're going to do Nehemiah, and we're going to do this. Like, I couldn't even say the names in the Bible. Like, I would look at Nehemiah and be like, Neo who? Yeah, I didn't understand it. But it's like, and then now I can sit here and, the amazing stories, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. If you start there and then you read it, it's like you're reading a storybook. Like, people don't get that. Like, the stories in the Bible, it's us. Yeah. The situations that they go through is the same as us. Just read it.
Yeah. When you read it because you want to,
right?
You understand different.
It hits different.
It does hit different.
And then, like, you could read the same passage as me, but we're gonna get different opinions about what it means.
Yeah. Well, our lives are in different places.
Correct.
Like, it will read you. The Bible will read you and like point out to you, hey, this is an area that needs work. Right. Or, hey, this is an area of praise today, where a year from now it might hit different, totally because I might need to be fed differently at that point.
Because even back in the day, like, I was still drinking when I was in church the first time, but I only drank every once in a while. But I remember coming to church, and it was Easter Sunday too. Easter Sunday is a big thing for me. Now I see, because now it's just coming out my mouth. I'm like, hold on, that was Easter Sunday too. But I remember Angie pulling me to the side because we had a whole bunch of people. And she was like, you smell like liquor, Tara. Go do something. And I'm like, it's coming out my pores because I'm sweating. And I'm like, oh. So it's like when I used to read the Bible back then, it was telling me put down my addiction. Now when I read the Bible, it's like, you need to do this and this and this and this podcast. And I need you to go talk to this person and this person you need to pray for. Like I told you, I get text messages from people. I need you to pray for me. Okay, let me call God, because I got his number. I guess you don't have the number, but I got the number. So let me call God and be like, okay, it's like I have the one-way track to God. but I love being seen like that.
Yeah.
And not the alcoholic who just likes to get drunk and be a party girl.
Yeah, you were telling me before we went live today how the messages that you get now are way
Yes.
different.
Way different. Like people are asking for prayer, and I'm like, okay, I got this. And then I just start praying, and it just comes out like I'm just talking to you.
How does that feel?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Like people asking me for prayers, like God is pop, pop. And then I shared something yesterday. It was one of those little reels or whatever, and it was they think Christian women just have their Bible and they're like, God, please do this for me. But in all reality, we're like, look, Pop, this is what we're going through, and I need you to fix this.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I have a relationship with him. I don't sit here and be like, oh my God, I need this. No, bruh, this is what we gotta do. And that's how I talk to God, because God made me. He knows my sense of humor. He knows who I am. And sometimes I'm like, God, why did you put me through so much hell to be this? You couldn't do this years ago?
Yep.
But it's his timing, not mine.
And it's hard to lead somebody out of somewhere you haven't been.
I haven't been. So God took me down through there so I can help my babies in jail, help the next person. I got Denise. Oh my God, Denise. My baby, my sister. She's doing so good. She went to rehab and now she's at a halfway house. And I just keep texting her, baby, we can't go back to the old days. We can't do this. Can't do that. You know, like I gotta still be their motivation, and I can't stop.
What does that feel like when you see them thrive, the ones that you've poured into, and you see them thriving on the outside? What is that like for you?
Amazing. Because they all know I've always had one rule. One rule. They know I'm cooking. I'm the big mama. I love to cook. So they know I'm going to cook. I'm going to have cookouts and stuff. But if you start using drugs, you can't come to my house because you can't be around my kids. So that
boundaries.
Boundaries.
Was that hard for you to set boundaries? No. What made that easier for you?
Because they're my babe, my kids. Like, I can't let anybody around my girls. I got teenage daughters and now a grandbaby. You can't bring that stuff around my kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you?
It don't bother me.
Yeah. You know, sometimes it's hard to put boundaries up when we don't value ourselves.
Right.
But when we start to value, you know, I heard you say before the show, you said, there's no way I'm giving up these 23 months of sobriety. No. You value it. Mm-hmm. So you protect it more.
Yeah, I protect it. Yeah. Like even with the funeral with my brother on Saturday, of course, people drink. That's how we hide our emotions. Yeah. And I'm sitting there feeling it all. And then one of the sisters was like, take a shot with me. And I was like, yeah, right. And she was like, oh yeah, you're sober. I'll be 2 years sober next month. I'm not taking no shot with you. That's 23 months down the drain. Yeah. No, for a shot? No, I don't even want to sip. Last night I took NyQuil, and then I started thinking, I'm like, hold on, does NyQuil got alcohol in it? I think I drank too much of it because I was trying to knock all this out. But I was even thinking about that. Did I mess up my sobriety with NyQuil? I was scared.
I just love this, like this overcoming. You know, I think someone had made a comment on here that, you know, you're an overcomer, and obviously you are in a lot of different ways.
I can't let everything that I've been through in my past hold me down. I've been through the relationships that I've been through. Oh my God, I just want somebody to love me like I love them. Mm-hmm. I love hard, but I can't let my past relationships stop me from loving. I'm gonna get it one day. One day.
How do you keep your heart tender, like, and not turn into cold love?
I can't. I don't think it could ever turn cold. I think it could put up walls. I put up walls. Mm-hmm. No, I can't let you come this fast, or, you know, but when I let down the wall, then sometimes it's like I get heartbroken. Mm-hmm. I'll be okay in a couple of days. And then
Yeah.
I'll be loving again. Because
Yeah.
it's just me. I'll give you the shirt off my back. As long as you're okay, I'm fine.
Do you feel like that's the love God gave you in your
Yeah.
heart? Yeah.
Sometimes it's a burden. I remember one of my ex had died of, was it pancreas cancer?
Mhm.
So he died this January. But the one thing that he always says was my flaw is my loyalness. I'm too loyal. He said that's your biggest, greatest achievement, but that's also your flaw.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, bless your heart.
I told you I'm the crybaby.
So tell me about your girls. How's things been when you came home?
Like my biological babies.
Yeah, you proud of your
Oh
mama?
my God. So they'll even say little crazy stuff like I'm the Facebook mom. Whatever moment happens, and they're teenagers, and one of them, well, two of them are grown. One just had a baby, but so like even they'll say stories about when I was drinking. Because I mean, at first it was just fun. We was just listening to music, dancing around, having fun. So I'm like, Mom, I miss you when you was drunk. You were just doing stupid stuff. But then, like the other one, that's what made me change. She told me in jail, you chose drinking over us. You left us again.
Mm.
So she's one of my biggest supporters, and I'll never take that for granted again.
How do you think the comeback that you've made impacts them for their future?
They won't make the same mistakes I have. They pay attention to Mom.
Mm.
Well, I can't do this because Mom did that and it went left.
Mm.
They
They're
pay
learning
attention.
from them.
Yeah, they pay attention. When you think your kids ain't paying attention, baby, they paying attention to everything.
Mm-hmm.
They won't do the same thing.
Yeah. They do what we do, what we show them, right? A lot of times. We're going to take another quick break and we'll be back in just a moment.
What if there were a super tiny device that could diagnose the brain and is smaller than a single human hair? What if you could see inside the brain to help an epilepsy patient during surgery or to help the fight against Parkinson's disease? Dr. Patricia Broderick is proud to announce the Broderick Probe, a biomedical and electronic breakthrough. Imagine a probe to help with the understanding and potential cure of brain-related diseases. To learn more, listen live to the Easy Sense radio show with host Dr. Broderick, Wednesdays 7 p.m. Eastern on the Bold Brave Media Network and TuneIn Radio. And to help support the Broderick Foundation, please go to EasySense.com and learn how, with your help, we can fight these horrific brain disorders. That's EasySense.com to learn more and help support the Broderick Foundation. Author, radio show host, and coach John M. Hawkins reveals strategies to help gain perspective, build confidence, find clarity, achieve goals. John M. Hawkins' new book, Coached to Greatness, Unlock Your Full Potential with Limitless Growth, published by iUniverse. Hawkins reveals strategies to help readers accomplish more. He believes the book can coach them to greatness. Hawkins says that the best athletes get to the top of their sport with the help of coaches, mentors, and others. He shares guidance that helps readers reflect on what motivates them, rediscover and assess their core values, philosophies, and competencies, find settings that allow them to be the most productive, and track their progress towards accomplishing goals. Listen to John Hawkins' My Strategy, Saturdays, 1 p.m. Eastern on the BBM Global Network and TuneIn Radio.
Tara, at the break,
Yes.
we were talking about when you heard God speak to you in jail.
Yes.
Which he was telling you, you're not going the way you think you're going.
Right. You're
You're
going to do what I tell you to do, not what you want to do.
You have this relationship with him that's growing and building.
Yes.
Do you still hear him a lot in those ways?
I haven't no more.
Why do you think that is?
He put me in jail for me to be still. I've always heard, be still, be still. If you be still and listen, he'll talk to you. I haven't been able to be still. I'm just so busy, like, and then I tried just to go to work, go home, and get in my bed. But then even when I'm in my bed, like I'm reading stuff or I'm on Facebook, and they're like, well, you're on Facebook all the time. You don't realize why I'm on Facebook. Like I'm looking at different ministries on Facebook. That's why I share so much God stuff. Because I'm looking at different things, and it's like, oh yeah, that's P. Oh yeah, that's me too. But like, God will make you be still to make time for him. So I better make time for him soon so he don't send me back. I can't go back to jail. I can't do it no more.
I hear that a lot where the girls will say, God put me here to park me, to set me down so that he could get my attention.
Yes. And that's how you hear him. You got to be still. Yeah. So if you ever need God's word, watch War Room.
That's a good movie.
It is. I was like, baby, okay. Yes. But War Room. So in my condo, in condos, you'll have a bathroom upstairs and a bathroom downstairs. Well, some reason we didn't have the bathroom downstairs, but we had the room. We made that our war room.
Oh, nice.
When them two little girls was fighting with each other, and go in the room and pray. And we wrote scriptures all over the wall. And then, when people come and visit, I'm like, go in the war room. They're like, well, sis, I can't deal with this. Go in the war room. Go talk to God. If you go talk to God, it's going to come back out. Yeah. Like whatever you got to go through. So go to your war room.
Was it easier to be still in there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I put my little pillow in there, and the girls had their little bitty round chairs because they were younger.
Yeah.
Now they're all teenagers.
So do you have a war room in your new house?
We haven't moved in yet.
Oh.
But this is the thing. Like, even though I went through what I went through in jail, I left my condo. My mom got us a house. Well, my mama lives with me. No, but she got us the house. It was a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. So you got 5 girls with 1 bathroom.
Wow.
Our new house has 4 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms.
Nice.
Plus, my daughter does hair, and my other daughter wants to be a tattoo artist. So we're gonna have a salon tattoo in the back of it as well.
Nice.
So yeah. Nice. I need to put a war room somewhere, huh?
Yeah, sounds like it. Might be a good idea.
Yeah. We need our war room too. People come over, ask for me to pray for them. Well, why don't you go pray for yourself? Go to the war room. That's where you can talk to God. Because in the movie, if you pay attention, so she was trying to sell her house, and her closet was her war room. When that last buyer came by, and it was that preacher, and he went in that room, and he came back out. He went back in that room, and he was like, somebody's been praying in here. It's a lot of prayers in here. I want this house.
Yes, it's powerful.
Yes.
There's such power in prayer. It's funny you say that about people. I used to rely on my mom's prayers so much. Like something was going on, call mom. She'll pray, direct dial line, the whole thing. And then one day, sitting in a board meeting, I was like, I got to call mom and tell her to pray about this. And what I heard back was, why, when you have the same ability and you take it for granted, her prayers, when you won't pray for yourself. And I was like, ow.
Right. Well, I do pray for myself too, but my go-to is Aletha.
There you go.
I'm like, girl, I want this house. She's like, I already prayed for it. And I'm like, no, pray for this house. I want that one. And then it's like, when I call her, it's like, I know what's going to happen because I called Aletha. I'm fine. But it's like, I never thought about till you just said that, how I call Aletha, they call on me for the same way.
We're circles of fighters. Yeah. We fight for one another.
But it's always been said, like, stop trying to fight your own battles, the addiction, the mental health, all those stuff. Stop trying to fight it yourself. When you fight it yourself, you're not going to win. But God ain't never lost a battle. So let him do it. Let him do it.
Awesome. Tara, I cannot thank you enough for coming on the show today.
Thank you.
You have been such a joy. I'm just so happy for you and the life that you've got, and how you just keep throwing positivity and encouragement about a relationship with God at people every way you can. So you keep going, girl.
I am.
Thank you guys for watching today. We Appreciate you tuning in to Bold Brave TV. You've been watching The Way to Break Free. Like and subscribe, and you can catch us each week as we go live. We'll see you next week.
This has been The Way to Break Free with your host, Angela Pedigo. The one thing Angela attributes her personal victories to is her relationship with God and her deep faith. Tune in each week and hear stories and testimonies of people in personal and professional trenches and how they overcome them with their own faith in God. The Way to Break Free has something for everyone, everywhere. Right here, Wednesdays, noon Eastern on the Bold Brave TV network.